It's everybody. How are we all doing? Hope we're all good. Hope everybody's having a good day. And let's talk Arsenal. Massive game against Manchester United. I don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen. I'm just basing it on what I've seen with Man United v Man City. They was absolutely brilliant. We don't know what Arsenal's going to turn up like. But please do smash the likes and subscribe, people, if you are joining. And let's talk Arsenal v Man United preview. Our old rivals meet. Miles apart in terms of the league table these days. Arsenal's way better when it comes to that with the league finishers, etc. But it is still Arsenal Man United. Some fans haven't even got memories that much of Arsenal Man United. There's loads. There's the Overmars, where he puts it through Schmeichel's legs on that Saturday morning. 97, 98. There's the Armory, where he chips it up, volleys it. There's the Freddie Lundberg makes his debut, comes on as a substitute, chips it over Peter Schmeichel's head, where Bartes just hands it on a plate to, Henry, where Roy Keane runs through and scores against us. Eric Cantona with his chest, I think, and volley. Ryan Giggs running it. It literally is. People there's a lot of Arsenal new fans what just don't know the Arsenal Man United, how much rivalry there is of the days. The Champions League with Ronaldo and Rooney and Park always used to do damage to us. Um, the Ian Wright days, and also I want to know who is better, prime Alexis Sanchez or Bukayo Saka right now. My choice is I will say Bukayo Saka can be world class on his day, but I'm taking Alexis Sanchez over Saka all day long. Now, I know some people, especially maybe the new fans, are going to say, no, not Sanchez, it's Saka, because anything what's new, what involves with Arteta, they're just going to pick obviously anything what's now, basically, what Arteta's been working with. But I'm picking Alexis Sanchez over Bukayo Saka. There was some fantastic performances from Sanchez. Like he was just like it looked like he had batteries in him at times. Sanchez, the way he would spring in the air and jump up, the goals like against Man City in the FA Cup, the Bournemouth game. He were a leader. He were a warrior, man. So Saka, he has done good, but Sanchez 2014 till 2018, 166 games, 80 goals. Saka made his debut in 2018, only scored 77 goals at the moment. So I want to know what people think. A prime Alexis Sanchez or Bukayo Saka right now? I'm going with Sanchez. I look at Sanchez and I think he were just he were quality, he were classy. Like I said, he was what you call a proper game changer. Would get that game, grab it by the scruff of the neck, and go and win it for us. You know what I mean? What a player! How fast he was, how strong he was. I'll give him an inch a yard and he would pull the trigger and he could shoot. And the way he would spring in the air to edit was fantastic. So for me, it's Sanchez. I'm going with Sanchez. So hope everybody's good. And let's talk Arsenal v Man United. Like I said, there's some people what think this isn't a big rivalry because in terms of the league position over the years, it's a massive rivalry. But again, there's a lot of Arsenal fans what have never even bothered to do any history on players from the past, games from the past, teams who've had rivalry with. Like I seen something like Edward Odoagan a few weeks back. Rivals meet Arsenal and Man City. Old rivals. I'm thinking, old rivals meet Arsenal and Man City. Like it just shows like these people they don't do any history on our club. Now I'm not saying I know everything about Arsenal Football Club, and I know there's a lot of people that know so much more than me. But I know history. I know some things. And then you see people like Eduardo Ega, who claims to be a massive Arsenal fan, who telling everybody again before Christmas, way before Christmas, in 3 weeks, I'm going to be a journalist. I'm going to be. He's been telling everybody that for absolutely ages. Um, like me and other people, we don't get brainwashed by these people. Like just going on to that a minute, we don't get brainwashed by. They lie and told bullshit every single day and think, oh yeah, I can just say what I want because I've got that many thousands of subscribers and followers. Well, let's say followers. I can tell them what I want. I can brainwash them. I can literally take the piss out of them every single day, and that's all he's doing. That's all people like Eduardo Egan are doing. Probably never even been to an Arsenal match. And, when he's saying things like, oh, old rivals meet Arsenal, Man City. We've had a bit of rivalry, sorry, with Man City for the last few years. Man United are our old rivals. But again, this is the thing. A lot of new Arsenal fans haven't got the first clue about the old Arsenal Man United games because they haven't been bothered to do the history at all. Chris Welsh, big up to you, my guy. Good to see you in the chat, Chris Welsh. Go and subscribe to Chris Welsh, people. Big up, mate. Hope you well. I'm good, thank you, brother. Hope you're good. The only Chris Welsh. It's not even a debate. Sanchez easily. Yeah, to me it is. But you're going to get people saying Saka. Of course you are. Mr. Josh here. Big up, Rich. Big up, Mr. Josh here. Hope you well, my guy. Looking forward to Sunday. If your lot turn up like they did against Man City, you'll definitely give us a game. The only Chris Welsh Saka career is already done thanks to Arteta overplaying him with hamstring injury. I think so. I don't think you're going to ever see the best of Saka again on a consistent basis. I really don't. Chris Welsh, let's see if United can back up their City performance. United are going nowhere until the same Leopards that threw managers under bus are gone. So I won't get carried away. No, absolutely. Like if like I said, when we played them at Old Trafford, first game at season, um, they were brilliant. They were fantastic. They were better than us. They're stronger in air. They were stronger with the slide tackles, etc. They had more intensity, more urgency. Game after that, they go and travel to Fulham, Craven Cottage, and I think they drew. And they want that good that day. So, people won't get carried away with Man United, but you might see a new manager bounce. And the performance what they put out against Man City, you might end up seeing that for maybe 4 or 5 games. And it might end up continuing against Arsenal. So I don't know. But like I said, you can't get carried away because you know what Man United have done a lot of times where they've played brilliant against a big team and then they've played a team what's not as good and then they've either lost or drawn. Like recently, against Wolves, you know what I mean? I think they're drawn to Burnley as well. Okay, Chris Welsh. I do believe United will turn up this weekend, but I think United will go back to dropping points in games they don't expect to win. Yeah, probably Chris Welsh, probably. Chris Welsh, we also don't know which Arsenal turns up. This is it. That's the thing. We don't. 1 second, people. Um, so yeah, I mean, it will be a good game on Sunday. I think it will be. I think with Michael Carrick as well. Like I said this last night, he is going to get the United players fired up. He's going to get into him and tell him, look, this is Arsenal. Michael Carrick's played against Arsenal many a times. He's played against Arsenal for West Ham, obviously for Man United. He's been part of it. The rivalry years he has. So he's going to get these players fired up, and he will, he'll get into him and tell him, this is what it means to be Arsenal. They're our old rivals. The players like Dorgu, Ahmed. Um, uh, I mean, you could even say Bruno, Casemiro, but they know anyway. They've probably seen it over years. But it's going to be a good game. And I say this: will Arsenal's defence win this match, or will Man United's attack cause us problems? But even then, with how good Arsenal's defence is, United won't cause as much problems as they did to City because our defence is 20 times better than City's. Everybody knows that. That's not just being biased because people know I don't do stuff like that. Oh, he's a great goalkeeper. Yeah, he's best goalkeeper in Wales. He plays for Arsenal. He's a good right back. Yeah, he's best right back in Wales. He plays for Arsenal. I don't work like that. I don't do that. I think that is so childish. So I'm not being biased there, but I'm just saying Arsenal, as everybody knows, it is 20 times Arsenal's defense is 20 times better than City's. So it's going to be, a good game. Um, but I think when you think of what we have got in defence, the only Chris Well City win all of a sudden is 4 points. Yeah, well, this is it. This is it, Chris. No matter what, on Sunday when we kick off against Man United at 4:30, we're only going to be 4 points clear at top of league. Man City are going to beat Wolves on Saturday. That is an absolute given. Now, I know they have stumbled a few games, but there's no chance Man City will lose to Wolves, bottom of the league, after losing to Man United and being played off at Park, and then going to Norwegian side, Bodo Glimt, and at times being absolutely owned, like just walked all over. They had Rodri playing and Reinders playing. They both started. Um, so I, if you're a Wolves fan, you might be getting ready for an absolute pasting. To be honest, I think it will be at least three, and it could even reach. This could reach five. To be honest, I think Haaland is going to be really pissed off because he's not scoring just lately. Obviously, got that penalty against Brighton. Um, Foden's dipped out of form a little bit. Marmoush is now obviously back. Doku, obviously Semenyo, Cherky, he's doing okay. He's doing good. In fact, probably bargain at somewhere actually 34 million. So Man City are going to take care of Wolves. So it is going to be 4 points only the time we play Man United. Anthony Clark, big up to my guy. Well, big up Rich. Hope you're good, mate. I'm very concerned about this Manchester United game. Yeah, I know what you mean. I do know what you mean, Anthony. I agree with you, bro. And you're probably saying that because, like what I think, what if we just sit back and wrap Arteta wraps up players in cotton wool? We play too defensive. We don't take the game to Man United. We're not showing freedom in our play. We're not showing a lot of intensity, a lot of urgency. We're not passing quick enough. Um, and to me, I think if we play like we did against Liverpool, and I am going to, and there's been a lot of games, obviously Wolves, Everton, Brentford, there's been a lot. But if we play like we did against Liverpool, and I say Liverpool because in first half, I'm like, well, I've seen this before a lot of times from Arsenal. We were boring. We didn't offer nothing. And if you can even say Anfield as well, but I'm going to use the Emirates as an example. Recently, we were so bad in first half, but in that second half against Liverpool, I couldn't believe what I was seeing at times. To me it looked like we was playing at Anfield and they was already top of like obviously the current champions, they've won the league, but it looked like the way they played against us in that second half, they're already top at league again this season and they're well clear Arsenal. They were literally just like, as if to say, come and get ball then. This is our own ground in our own backyard at Emirates. And they were just passing it round as if to say, come and get ball then, you fuckers. Come on, come and get ball. Just literally passing it round, inviting us, like teasing us to come and get ball. And it was a diabolical second half from Arsenal against Liverpool at Emirates. So if we play like that, the way United attack Man City and the confidence they've got now, and obviously Michael Carrick's there, we could be in for a tricky game, a very tricky game. Now, like I keep saying, our defence can handle any single team in the world when they come at us. Yeah, they might nick a goal or two at most, but we can handle it. We can handle it. But the thing is, if we don't give them a punch in face going other way, and a smack on nose going other way and attack them and cause problems for United, they might score two goals, and you know it could be game over. They could nick a penalty. They could, and if they play like they did with that attack, with Dorgu, Ahmed, and Bemo controlling and holding things up top. Casemiro and Bruno were controlling things. Kobe Mino, he was there as well. It looked like the balance, everything were perfect against City. And if they bring that same energy, that same confidence, that same intensity, urgency, they might give Arsenal a massive problem. Now, like I keep saying, we can handle any team when they throw any attack at us. We can. and they come at us. And like I said, we might concede 1 or 2 goals. But if Man United end up getting 2 goals, with that new manager bounce and everything, they could just defend for their lives or anything. But we could turn up and we could play like we did against Inter Milan, Aston Villa second half, Tottenham, Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid. And if Arsenal play like that, it don't matter what United turn up because it's game over. Trust me, it will be game over. We will be more than capable of beating Man United 3-0 and obviously not even conceding. It's because our defence is that good. And when that switch goes with that attack, we can be ruthless. But, as I keep saying, we do not see it often enough. And that is what is frustrating at times. And it is for a lot of fans. And it really is. Because we know how good we can be when we flick that attacking switch. And before people say, "Oh, you can't," because you get these people on Twitter, you can't win 5, 6, 7-0 every game. I didn't fucking say that. I never said that. I'm not daft enough. I have played football at a young age. I'm not stupid. I'm on about we need to see it more often. But people make out when you say something like that, you're saying it for every game. Absolutely not. But we only see it maybe every 7 or 8 games with Arsenal this season. We need to see it maybe every 3 or 4 games where we just steamroll a team, where we take care of them, take care of business. 20, 30 minute, Arsenal's 2-0 up, bang, game done, start resting players. We make a lot of games hard work. The Wolves, the Everton, the Brentford. So, yeah. Um, but if we go on and win Premier League, then it is what it is. It's worked. But if it don't work, I guarantee you now, more fans are going to look back at the end of the season and say, our football is boring. And I emphasize that word most of the time. We never really kill teams off, maybe every 7 or 8 games. And we haven't won a Premier League title yet again. More fans will be calling for Mikel Arteta's head. There's no matter what, how many people like the Rory Talks bollocks and Adam Keys who have got like a affiliation with him. You can tell Rory has because he's literally got a poster of Arteta. Um, they're going to call for it. They're going to call for his head, and there's going to be thousands, and I'm not just saying hundreds, thousands and thousands more fans. If Arteta does not win the league this season, are going to say, "Get him out of this club and sack him," because the football he's playing most of the time, I emphasise that word again, is boring, and he's not won a Premier League yet again. Then you get your chance for your Champions League. Now, if he wins the Champions League, and I said last night, I would gladly give Arteta a statue. So that's what I am as a person. I would say, there you go, won Champions League, Arteta deserves a statue, and that's me who don't even like him. So it just shows that the kind of person I am, I will always praise when praise is needed and criticise when criticising is needed. So yeah, I'm imagining now a lot more fans have turned towards Arteta and backing him. I don't like him. I'm not going to change, and my standards are there. It's either the Premier League or the Champions League, or he's got to be sacked. To me, an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup is not it's not acceptable enough. You have 6 years as a manager, which will be 7 in December, and you spend 1.3 billion, and you can't even win a Premier League title or a Champions League. It's just not acceptable enough. It's not, no way. Especially when Onslaught from the Dutch Eredivisie with Feyenoord, Go Red Eagles, AZ Alkmaar turns up at Premier League and wins that league in his first season. Not by 2 points, 3 points, scrapes it. He takes the piss out of Arteta in his first season. Literally dog walked Arteta and wins it by 10 points. So, you move abroad and people say, "Oh, this is why people I can't have Arteta being told," like when people say he's fifth best manager in the world. Well, Hansi Flick has won 4 trophies in 2 seasons with Barcelona. So, yeah, a bit of Arteta talk there, which is always going to happen on my channel. Chris Welsh, this is why I say it's only January. If City's still in it come April, then people will fancy City. Yeah, if you play City in League Cup final, that's the game to land a knockout to City's mindset. That's a good point. That is a very, very good point. Yeah, absolutely. Just to prove that we can get over the line, I think that's, yeah. And that's what we do need to do. We need to win the Carabao Cup to breed that confidence into these players who's never won anything in their career. Some of them. Anthony Clark Arteta seems to play attacking football in the Champions League, defensive football in the Prem. I know, Anthony, mate. That I know. That's what I don't like. Because Manchester United don't even have a bad team on paper. Their mindset of certain players have let them down. It has. You look at the Man United's team on paper. Bemo, Cunha. You know, these are internationals, man. These have been bossing it in Premier League and that. Chris Welsh, I want Arteta playing attacking football UCL cause of the format. You can't set up for a draw. You need to win every game. That's a good point as well. Yeah, man. Chris Welsh, if you lot were playing attacking football but drop points, you'd be praising them because they had that urge to win. Uh, AFC Kai, what do you think about Thierry's statement about Arteta? We asked him to bring us a title, and he's doing that. Listen, Thierry Henry, obviously an Arsenal legend, a good pundit. I don't think he's going to ever be a good manager. I don't think he will do it now. I think he's going to stay as a pundit, and I like it because he tells it as it is. He criticises Arsenal and Arteta when needs criticising, and he praises Arteta and praises Arsenal when needs praising. And his latest one saying about Arteta, he's asking him like obviously to bring us title, and he's doing that. But to me, we're only top at moment. We're just borrowing top at league. We haven't won anything. We haven't won anything. So, like when people say, like Arteta's fifth best manager at world, I'm thinking, how can he be? How can he be? Hansi Flick, Carlo Ancelotti, Pep, Enrique, Inzaghi, you know, um, Conte. There's six that like Onslaught. Onslaught's done something in Premier League what Arteta's never done in his first season. So I can push Arteta to number 10. Peppermint, we need to go full ball these Man United and smoke them at the Emirates. Absolutely, Peppermint. Good to see in the chat. Peppermint on absolutely dog walked Arteta. He did in his first season. The only Chris Welsh, I count every trophy as the same. To be honest, if you win one of the cups and reach later stages of title race and UCL, that's successful for Arsenal. We all agree Arteta should have won something last few seasons. Well, I'm saying this: if Arsenal win FA Cup and Carabao Cup, of course I'm going to love it. It's brilliant for me to see and fans to see, and days out Wembley lifting trophies. But to me, then I say 100%, even though I didn't want him anyway in the first place, Arteta must be sacked and bring a proper, proven manager in what can go all full ball, your 9 months ish in the Premier League and slog it out and win games and find a way to win that title at the end of the season, or go full ball and all the way in the Champions League for an FA Cup and a Premier and a Carabao Cup. Yeah, it's a double. It's two trophies you've won. But to me, that's not acceptable enough. It's not. That means he's still with as we keep getting told, the best squad, spending 1.3 billion and 6 years, still can't win a Premier League. That shows that he's getting probably a bit better. He's finally won trophies. He's learning probably still, but he ain't at the level Arsenal need. It's as simple as that. If you don't win the Premier League or the Champions League, he is not worthy to carry on at Arsenal because he cannot do the one thing what we are wanting so bad, especially that Champions League. Even though I do want the league kind of more than anything, but the Champions League we've never won it, so it just proves that if you don't win it, and he might do, th- for all we know, Arsenal could, which will be unreal, unreal, and I don't think a team will ever do it. But we might even end up winning all four trophies. Now, I think we've got zero chance. I don't think any team can do it, no matter how good you are. I think you are going to stumble in one competition, but we, right now as it stands, we could win four trophies, and I can just flip that straight away. So can Man City. Do you know what I mean? So you're getting all these fans what are just giddy and excited. It makes you think how long you actually been watching football. 4 year, well, let's say 3 year, 5 year, 6 year. You know, Like you can tell some of them are just that giddy and probably just say things just to get attention because it started season. That Gooner Chris on Twitter, who always posting pictures of kids and stuff, which is very weird, by the way, fucking very weird. Always posting pictures of family members, kids, and he's got that stupid profile picture where he's just looking and pouting. He said, "What's stopping Arsenal from doing quadruple?" I mean, you won't. Why would you say that when they've not even won a Premier League or an FA Cup in for years or a Carabao Cup? Do you know what I mean? Like right now, and I haven't said this for ages, as it is right now on the 22nd of January, 2026, Arsenal Football Club don't reach Wembley. We don't get to any single final, and we're not winning any trophy whatsoever. So this season, I want to see trophies won. I want to see us reach Wembley, and obviously, well, I want to see us reach finals. I want to see us get to Wembley, Let's do it in order. Get to Wembley, reach finals, obviously, and win trophies. And then people like me and other people will say, turn around and say, "Well, Arteta has done it. It's took a lot longer than what it should, in a way. Messed up with a lot of transfer windows, but Mikel Arteta has has done it. He's won as a Premier League, um, and even if he wins a Premier League, we get to the final of the Carabao Cup. He wins the Premier League. It's a damn good season, but we should be pushing for two trophies. How long it's been? How long we've been waiting? So if we win the Premier League this season and we get to the say a final of the Carabao Cup, is that a good season? Yes, yes. To me, it is because we've reached Wembley, something we haven't been doing. We've got to a final. Obviously, we've. I'm saying if we lose it, but we've still got to the final. Ideally, I want to win every single trophy, but we've won the big prize. We've won the Premier League. So if we win the Premier League and reach the final, let's just say, of the Carabao Cup, that is a very good season. A very good season. And let's say we go out in semis in FA Cup and we go out in semis in Champions League. To me, we've got over the line over on the big stage, reached a final, close in the FA Cup and close in the Champions League. So that is a good season. Now, if we don't win the Premier League, reach the Carabao Cup final, get knocked out of the quarterfinals in the FA Cup, and reach the semi-final of the Champions League, that's dire. That's just it's just Arsenal again. The nearly team, nearly got there. No Premier League, no Champions League, no FA Cup, and didn't win the Carabao Cup. But you're gonna get all the fans what are obsessed with Arteta, they're going to flip it straight away. Well, we got to a final. We got to a quarter final at FA Cup. We reached semi-final Champions League. We finished second in league. Let's build again. Let's spend another 100 million in summer. That's all it's going to be. Flip it, flip it. This is our manager. We back him. We back him. No, 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 no. If that Premier League is not won, he he's got to go. He's got to get all the Champions League, an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup together as a double. I'm sorry, but it's not good enough. It's not. It's not good enough. Teams who are finishing 12th in the league sometimes and that reaching semi-finals and winning it. It's not good enough. Crystal Palace won that last year. It's not acceptable enough. He must win that Premier League or Champions League. Or like I said, if he wins the Premier League and we even get to the final of the Carabao Cup, semi-final Champions League and quarter-final of the FA Cup, then that's a freaking good season because you've managed to win the big trophy, the Premier League, and get close in every single competition. But the conversation won't just be, well, it's nearly Arsenal, it's nearly FC. No, we are the champions of the Premier League and we came close in every other competition and reached a final in the Carabao Cup. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Um, where are we? I mean, Tom Canton said he wanted Odegaard to lift a trophy to show Tony Adams he was wrong. Well, that's just why would you even disrespect someone like Tony Adams, a legend who's played, I think it's 669 appearances for Arsenal, scored 44 goals, I think it was, four titles. Why would you even take any side when it comes to Martin Odegaard? To turn out Martin Odegaard is an embarrassment of an Arsenal player when you compare him to the likes of Tony Adams, Patrick Vieira, Thierry Henry, and on that, I'm basing it as captains. This is what I'm saying, people. How can you say you are a proper Arsenal fan when you literally want to prove an not an invincible, but literally a legend at this club, a legend? How can you possibly say that? Even thinking of something like what's Martin Odegaard done for Arsenal? You should ask Tom. That's what Tom Canton should be asked. What has Martin Odegaard done for Arsenal? He's done absolutely fuck all for this club, and he is the weakest captain in football. For Tom Canton to mention anything comparing the likes of Tony Adams, etc., you cannot be a proper Arsenal fan. He's Tony Adams is players like him are what's made Arsenal. Martin Odegaard has done nothing for this club. Absolutely nothing. And he was the absolute shit show of last season. He was the worst first team player in Arsenal last season. Peppermint, I still believe you can't win a Prem with Odegaard as captain. You know what? I agree, Peppermint. I do. I can't even call him a I can't. I cannot even call Odegaard the captain of this football club no more. I really can't. Peppermint Freedom, no context this year. No backing. He must win that Premier League. Absolutely. 100%. Lucas Ross, sending our thoughts, love and condolences to Ibrahim Kanate and his family after the sad news of his father. Oh, I think that's I didn't know about that. Yeah, it's anything's sad when you lose a family member in football out for anything. Government freedom. You can tell Tony's comment really hurt them. Um, I don't. What was that? I didn't see. Oh yeah, the Tony Adams comment. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 100%. You know, and it moving on to transfer window. Like, I don't know. I can't think of a player. Only one what I would have liked to have signed in the summer is a left winger. But now I am on the midfield. I think we could do with a bit more, a bit of powerhouse, a bit of a beast in midfield. I think that's where I am. And someone like this guy, let me find him. Let me find him. Um, I'm sure he's at AC Milan now, and I know he played for Monaco. Let me find him. Sure, he went to AC Milan. I know it fell through at one point, but let me just see if he's there. Um, I don't know if he's is he there? Yes, he is. Why is that doing that? Youssef Fofana, the French player for currently plays for defensive midfield AC Milan. He joined the club. Oh, so he's been there 2 years. That's not bad. I'm a big fan of this guy. I do like this. I think he's a good footballer. I really do. He'd have been good at Arsenal. Let me just show you this. This is who I would probably pick if we're going for a midfielder. I know it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But this is who I would go for. Um, if I'm picking a signing, I would probably go for Fana. Just fine. I think he's good. I think he's good, and I just maybe not specifically him, but when I think of the type we need that robust, that tallish player, that ball breaking powerhouse, a bit of steel and muscle. I think we could do with someone like him. And I mean, no, it's not that one. Where is it? Where is it? So he's not even that old, I don't think. Yusuf Fofana has made 21 appearances for AC Milan this season, registering one goal and three assists across all competitions. So is he 18 appearances? What's his age? What's his age? Yusuf Fofana joined AC Milan in August 2024 from AS Monaco. Sorry, AS Monaco. You can view more details and stats on the. So, what's his age? How old is he? Let me find him. What's his age? About mid-20s, I think it is, something like that. And height, I'm sure he's 6'4". He's got to be 6'4". I knew it would come up with him, and I did used to want to sign him and all. He used to play for Lens, who are currently top of the Liga at minute, I think. I don't want images. I want. What's his 27 years old. That's perfect age. 6'1". That would be a great signing. That would be a great signing. That would be a good signing if Arsenal could get him. 27-year-old, absolute perfect age, especially for a midfielder. Um, yeah, it did. Tony Adams, he rattled some people just because he spoke absolute facts. Peppermint, what's your prediction for Sunday? Um, I'm going with 2-1, and I don't normally do score predictions. I'm going with 2-1, Peppermint. I'm going with 2-1. 1-all. That's fair. That is fair. Peppermint, but hopefully I'm wrong. Please do smash up the likes and subscribe as well, people, to the channel. Um, so yeah, I think this would be a good signing. I'm not saying he's even up for grabs. I don't even think that, but just someone like him to help Declan Rice. Because if Declan Rice gets injured, we're going to lose a lot of steel, that grit, and I think he would be a really good signing. Um, Obviously, I don't even know if we're linked. We used to be linked with him when he were at Monaco, but that'd be a good signing. 6'1", 27-year-old, great age. So to me, that's someone who I would probably sign. Someone like that for if I were to pick in this window. Now look at this. This just shows um, Saka's stats. Look, Bukayo Saka has made over 290 appearances for Arsenal across all competitions with 77 goals and 78 assists as of January 2026. So, there's that. So, and obviously he made his debut in 2018. And then you've got Sanchez, who Alexis Sanchez made 166 appearances for Arsenal, scoring 80 goals and providing 45 assists across all competitions between 2014 and 2018. So that's why I am saying, to me, Alexis Sanchez is better than Saka. A prime Alexis Sanchez is better than I would have him over Saka by a long stretch, I think. And that's probably, in fact, no, I'd rather have Alexis Sanchez all day long than Saka. A prime Alexis Sanchez, definitely. 1-all. That could be, yeah. Yannick Welsh, perfect signing for Arteta. He wants 6 foot players. Yeah, well, I do like height. I don't. I think that's one thing what Arteta has brought as well. He has brought some height into this team, which is good. It is good to see. But um, I don't know. Let's just check see if we've got any injury news. I don't know if anything's popped up. Have we got any? Well, this has come in from Lee African, who sometimes he speaks, tells a lot of lies, and then sometimes he does speak quite good. Abichi Eze's rare start on Tuesday night almost started with a total disaster. I didn't know about this. When he arrived at the San Siro, he almost tripped on a cable which was taped to the ground and nearly went flying. but he remained on his feet and delivered an embarrassed smile at the camera crew who were just a few yards away. Wow, I didn't know about that. So let's see if there's any news, if any injury news. I know in Cape might be, there's a chance he might, I don't know if he's going to play, but I'd seen something the other day, he could be back. You're in Timber, you know who I love to watch? Jack Wilshere. Wow. Big, huge fan of him. There was Robin Van Persie as well, but he went to Manchester United, of course. You're in Timber. Speaking about Jack Wilshere. Anything else? Oh, God. Mikel Arteta on if Theo Walcott would get in this Arsenal side. I don't. Maybe some minutes you, Wayne Rooney, would get in. Gabriel Jesus. There was two Gabriels sometimes with a smile on my face. Gabriel Jesus. There was two Gabriels sometimes with a smile on my face and with no good mood. I learned that I need to be with a smile, so I keep the smile. Thank you for that. It is understood Arsenal were conscious of interest in Ethan Nwaneri from rivals including Manchester City and Chelsea to ward off suitors. Mikel Arteta accelerated his interrogation into the first team. Once the deal was signed, Arsenal adopted a calm approach. So basically, they've took the piss out of him. They have took the piss out of him. Ethan Nwaneri, De Zerbi is one of the best coaches in the world. This is interesting. He's demanding, I'm ready to play under him and listen to what he wants for the team. Bigging up him, he's bigging him up. Even one year, William Saliba told me Marseille is one of the best clubs in the world. Roberto De Zerbi is also one of the best coaches in the world. I knew Saliba would bring his influence, and obviously he's got a Aubameyang there now. Pierre Nkapé is closing on a return to Arsenal full trading, so I doubt he's going to be playing at all against Man United. Probably might make the Leeds game. Sometimes you you think there's not even that much news what they bring, or they're behind. You know, sometimes like they've not even posted everything, and they're meant to be an up-to-date chat where they're updating things all the time. Confirmed Arsenal's rescheduled Premier League fixtures for TV selection. Arsenal v Chelsea, Sunday, March 1st, Sky Sports. Brighton v Arsenal, Wednesday, March 4th, TNT. Arsenal v Everton, Sunday, March 15th, Sky Sports. Um, on this day, 2003, came from behind to beat Manchester United, a thrilling win at the Emirates. Can't really show that in case I get done. Vieira and Cappy on Instagram. You know, some players do wear some of the clothing they wear. Wow, it is just. I think they look like idiots, man. Ricardo Calafieri on Instagram. So there's nothing really, people. There's not much transfer news. There's nothing popping around. Really quiet. Really, really quiet. Yeah, there's nothing. Nothing really showing whatsoever. Absolutely nothing. So, right, let me get to perfect sign for do want 6 foot players. I do like tall players though. Chris Welsh, I used to like the old Invincibles, how tall they were, you know. Peppermint Freeman, I heard that Arteta has been bullying Eze. Yeah, I've seen that. I have read it, Peppermint. I might have come across it or I might have had to scroll a bit further. Peppermint, I hope Eze gives him a slap like Abba did, 100%. Saya G7 United fan here. We're smoking you lot. Big up to you, Saya. Well, I'll tell you something. If you play like you did against Man City, you will definitely give us a game. Now, as I mentioned so many times, our defence can cope with any team in the world, but Man United was absolutely class against Man City. It was like watching, I don't know how long you support Man United, but it was like watching Man United of the 90s against Man City. They were absolutely brilliant. 100% nearly off all the way through game. They were so strong in the tackles. They were passing so fast. They were a load of intensity, a load of urgency. They were showing for the ball. The creative levels was absolutely brilliant. And Bemo were causing problems. Casemiro, Bruno. Kobe Mano in midfield were all good. Martinez were, like an ankle biter all over Ireland. They looked. Dorgu were fantastic. Ahmed, they looked absolutely brilliant. Man United looked absolutely class against Man City. Now they might not turn up like that. We just don't know. But midfield feels like a calm before the storm. Yeah, I mean, I will say this: if we, if we, when we play, obviously, Man United, we are going to only be 4 points um, clear of Man City because they are going to beat Wolves. We know that. And if we don't beat Man United, I will say this: I guarantee you now, all these, oh, you're saying this, you're saying that. I guarantee you, if we do not beat Man United and City have already beat Wolves, and that closes the gap to 4 points, I guarantee you there'll be fans maybe starting to boo if we play shocking, booing at Emirates, and there'll be a lot more fans saying, "Here we go again. Here we go again. We've let Man City literally close the gap now." Now I think after Wolves, City have got Tottenham away, think, and we've got Leeds. So we might get another chance. Tottenham might end up going on a bit of a run after beating Dortmund, a good result, and obviously Solanke's back now, which he haven't had all season. Then had a, I mean, since I think they've missed Son. I think they've missed Son's consistency, even though he dropped off last couple of seasons. See, I'm 19. Just bumped into your channel randomly. You are Teta out if you go trophyless this season. See ya. Well, welcome to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel sorry, please smash the likes and subscribe to the channel if you're new, like you are. See ya. I never wanted Arteta in, and everybody knows that in my channel, and a lot of people in this channel. I never wanted Arteta in first place, mate. Supported Arsenal 34 years. I never wanted Arteta in first place. There were talk about him coming to Arsenal before Unai Emery took over, and I were like, "Do not bring Arteta to Arsenal. Just don't bring him." Um, he was a decent player for Arsenal for 5 years, not even a legend. That don't matter though. You can have a player what's played for your team for 2 years, hardly done anything, and end up being a fantastic manager. But up to yet, he's failed. He's failing season after season. So this season, I hope he puts it right. And if he wins the Premier League, then I'm probably just going to turn around and say he's but I wouldn't even know what to say. I would say probably still don't like him as a person because he's gone on TV, lied so many times. The PSG away game where he had to lie to a female reporter, which I must have mentioned 25,000 times, saying we were better, and the PSG bench said we were better, and Enrique said we're better. They never said such thing. So Mikel Arteta factually lied. Um, He's done a lot of things. When he said, "Don't be satisfied with second, want much more, we're going to get it." He didn't sign a backup for Saka and a striker, which the whole world knew. All the fans knew, rival everybody, pundits, and they thought once that happens, Arsenal are going to win league. It's simple as that. And he didn't. He signed a left back, Calafiore, and centre midfielder, Mikel Moreno. So I've never been Arteta in, but at that time when he said don't be satisfied with second, that's when I did actually say I'll give him one more chance. I'll give him the benefit of doubt. We've lost the league to Man City by 1 point. They beat West Ham. We only just on the final day. We only just beat Everton. It is what it is. We've lost it. We've got very close. Even in that time, you think you shouldn't have played Havertz in midfield against Aston Villa. We're dire against Fulham. Didn't change anything. I think that New Year's Day. Um, and so we're looking at it and think, but if he's going to say this, stand there in front of the Emirates, in front of the whole crowd, and say, do not be satisfied with second, we want much more, and we're going to get it, then I thought, right, this window, he's obviously going to sign a striker. He's obviously going to sign a backup for Saka. Let's see what happens. And he didn't do anything apart from bringing Sterling in on deadline day. So ever since I've been out, and I don't really use that word, I'm just like, I don't like him. He has to lie on TV. He's done it a lot of times. He's ruined a lot of players. Like now, he's taking piss out of even Wanyeri, who I'll say it again. If you have a breakthrough season, no matter what, and score 9 freaking goals, How the hell do you not get minutes the following season? No matter what anyone says to me, if you have a breakthrough season as a young lad and you score 9 goals in all competitions and add to that scoring three different competitions, Carabao Cup, Premier League, Champions League, how the hell are you not getting minutes this season when you're seeing the likes of Martin Odegaard, who was Arsenal's worst first team player last season, still getting in this team? And to add to it, what makes it even more embarrassing, he wears the captain's armband, who, by the way, I can't even mention Odegaard. When I look, I just think there's Declan Rice, Arsenal's captain, or there's Gabriel, Arsenal's captain, and I will continue to do that. He is an embarrassment of a captain to this football club. He's the weakest captain I have ever seen. Shies away from tackles. He don't get stuck in. If he loses ball, it's like, oh, I've lost it. A proper captain would win that back and give absolutely everything. That last stretch at boot, that that last shoulder barge, jump up in air, he would give everything. Like Tony Adams, Patrick Vieira, Thierry Henry, moving on to different clubs, Roy Keane, Steven Gerrard, John Terry. We haven't got a captain. We haven't got a born true leader with that grit and warrior at this football club. We've got a weakling at this club as a captain, Martin Odegaard. And that is facts. That is absolutely facts. But we have got Declan Rice and Gabriel, who Declan Rice should be this captain of this club, or Gabriel. So that's I ramble on, but I do. I go into detail in depth, and I'm not, yeah. So if Arteta don't win league this season, definitely want him out. 100% want him out more than anything. And I would if we had a chance to swap Conte for Arteta now, I would still give Conte the job to take over for the season. I really would, because I know what Conte can do. Because when we battered Chelsea, not battered, because 3-0 is not a battering. When we beat Chelsea comfortably at Emirates 3-0, after the game, reporter turns around to him and says, obviously the normal things, what's happening, and he just turns around and says, "Well, I think that I have to change. It's my way now. I think that I got to do things my way." And they're all baffled. Like, so what do you mean? What can you what will you be changing? Uh, I do things my way, and he obviously is not going to tell you post match or pre match or whenever. Next minute, Chelsea go to three at back. Chelsea won't win league, because that is the sign of a proper, proven winner, top elite manager who looked at him and thought, no, not happening. Arsenal beat us 3-0 at Emirates. It's my way. Three at back. Chelsea won't win league. Um, Jason Carter, big up to my guy. Hope you're well. Good to see you in the chat. Jason Carter, big up Rich. Hope you're well, mate. Arteta has an agenda against attacking players. He's no good at developing attacking players. The list goes on. It literally does, mate. I'm telling you now. The list actually does go on. And it's not like we're making this up. We're not like, oh, we'll think of something. It actually is massive now. Aubameyang, you know, he can't play to Victioca's strengths. We've lost the best version of Martinelli. Saka is worn him out, and Gareth Southgate as well, by the way. So Gareth Southgate and Arteta, I think, are responsible for overplaying. Saka. I mean, you're talking like 2018, like 19, what were it? Yeah, 2018, 19 World Cup, and Saka's playing in it. And it, Southgate overused him. Arteta's overused him. So again, I don't think we're going to ever see a Bukayo Saka we've seen 2 years ago because of that grade tier 3 hamstring injury. I do not think we'll see it, because he will probably have a bit of fear sometimes, overstretching to win that ball back, or with that burst of acceleration. Sometimes he looks rapid, and he does. And against Inter Milan, in some spells, he was rapid, but he drops off. He drops off, and Saka never used to. So again, I think Arteta's done that. We haven't seen the best of like Eze. I don't think they're giving him a lot of freedom, because the thing is, how I see it is that Arteta, to me, and I said this last night, he feels that even a number 10, a creative midfielder, a left winger, right winger, has got to defend more. Now, I know football's changed, and it has, but it's still a round ball. You still kick it, and all these people, all these they are trying to act posh. Oh, it's the XG, or oh, it's the possession covered. It's the minutes of the. It's how many passes. Football is about putting the ball in the net and winning trophies at the end of the day. And if you ask Brian Clough about it, he'll just tell you, "Well, it's simple, lad. You know that bloke in there. He'll stand there and he'll stop that ball going at net. He will. You know them four people in front of him. They'll stop that ball going to that goalkeeper. You know them people in front of that defence. They'll stop it coming back to defence. You know him up top. He'll put ball at net. He will. Do you know what I mean? And that's a shit impression of Brian Clough, by the way. Um, but it's just, people overcomplicate it. Do you know what I mean? Like a left winger, right winger, a forward, left back, right back, centre back, you know, goalkeeper, holding midfielder, number 10, left. Like, I can't, I don't do this shit. I do not do it. I just keep to the normal, how it was 20 year ago, 50 year ago, and still is to me. People try to overcomplicate. Oh, he's got to invert there, he's got to invert that. Like, I know it changes, but that's not me. That's not me. Like, when I say a midfielder, I say a holding midfielder, two holding midfielders, a left wing and a right wing. Why should it be any different? But it's all these, a lot of these smug people, what think they know everything about football, and it's that. You've got to invert, and your left eight has to invert or feed off. Some of them haven't even kicked a football in life. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I rate your Arteta opinion. You seem like a level-headed person. I'll definitely subscribe to your channel. One more question: would Carabao Cup and a second place satisfy? No, sir. And thank you very much for that, my guy, for subscribing. No, absolutely not. Even a Carabao Cup and an FA Cup, 1.3 billion spend, 6 million officially on the 19th/20th of December, which is for Arteta. Um, nah, no. It has to be the Premier League, mate, or the Champions League. Now, I did say if he wins the Premier League, we reach the Carabao Cup final, we get to the quarter final of the FA Cup, and we've reached the semi-final of the Champions League, then I'm going to turn around and say that is a damn good season because we've literally won one of the major trophies, the biggest prize. We've won the Premier League. We've got to a final, which we're not even getting to at the minute. We're not reaching Wembley. So we've achieved that, getting to Wembley. Ideally, you want to win them all. Of course, you do. So that's that. And then, so, and then obviously getting to what did I say? Quarter-final FA Cup, a Champions League. So then you look and think, well, Premier League won. So we've actually got over the line, won that. We are the champions of England. We got to a final of the Carabao Cup. We didn't win it, but we got there. Quarter final of the FA Cup and a semi final of the Champions League. Now, ideally, like I keep saying, you want to win all four, and we should be winning at least two trophies as Arsenal Football Club, especially how long we haven't won for and what we've been spending it, just let you know. But that to me would be a good season. Premier League win, Carabao Cup final, semi final, Champions League, quarter final, FA Cup. I would look at that and think that is progress because we've won the Premier League, we've got over the line, and we've gone very far and reached a final. Very far in two competitions and also reached a final. So you would look at that and think that is compared to previous seasons, a very good season. But then next year, I would still say now bring a maybe a proven manager what can get over the line in the competitions as well. I would, like I said, I would swap Conte now for Arteta or Hansi Flick. I would swap him. I would. Kit, I agree. Ethan hasn't been treated fairly at all. He hasn't. He hasn't. Big up to you, Kiki. Absolutely, my guy. He hasn't. Us, definitely not, man. 100%. See a decent Conte impression. Well, I remember him. He talks really quiet, very quiet. Public freedom, people not giving Eze the fair crack. Yeah, I do believe. I've even said it. If Gyökeres were in a different team, I think he scored 10 Premier League goals by now. I really do. Public freedom, Eze first game, Teta scapegoated him. Absolutely, he did. He did. Peppermint Freedom Teta will sabotage us, mark my words. I can see where you're going with Peppermint. I can. I really can. Peppermint, he will hand Pep his final title. Yeah, and then you know what? and people probably know what I'm going to say. Enrique will be the next Man City manager. I've got a feeling Pep is someone who'll probably honour his contract. But let's just say if Man City go out in the, Newcastle overturn it, which I don't think they will. Let's just say that happens. They go out in the FA Cup, which I can't remember they've got next. I don't think it's an hard game, so I think they'll probably be going through in that one, and they fall like maybe 7 points behind it league towards end, and they're out at Champions League. It Pep is somebody what is he would just turn around and put his hands up and say, "I've gave everything to this club. I've won everything for Man City, done a lot of things for the community, which he has." I think he would turn around and put his hand and say, "I can't take this club no further," and he will admit when he's done. That's what I think Pep's quality. I think his class. I think his he goes on pitch and stuff. I remember when they played West Ham and Mark Noble was playing his last game for West Ham. Soon as that final whistle went, this is what I love. This is when I thought, what a guy Pep is. Obviously, one of the best managers we've ever seen. Mark Noble's last game for West Ham. Soon as that final whistle went, fucking Pep went straight up to Mark Noble like that, straight away. Put his arms around him. He were hugging him. He were talking to him. You could see him say, "Fantastic career, great servant for West Ham." And I just thought, what a guy, man. What he didn't need to do that. He didn't. He went straight up to Mark Noble before he went up to any Man City player and congratulated him. You could see him talking to him. So I think he's class act. I really do. And he is someone who'll just put his hands and say, "I've done it all. I can't take this club no more. It's time." Maybe for his ex-Barcelona teammate Enrique to take over, or Man City's got other plans. But I think surely Enrique takes over Man City. If like Enrique at PSG, he's won the league. There's a chance he might not win it this season because Lens and Marseille, are close. Um, but he's won the trophy, like their domestic cup, like something like Copa del Rey, which is obviously happens in La Liga, the Spanish league. So he's won the Champions League as well, the biggest prize. The owners ask if a manager comes to PSG, win us that freaking Champions League, and he's done it. So now they're going to look and think he's done it. Let him go, and apparently he wants to, and I think his next destination is going to be England, and I can see him going to Man City. I really can. Even Pep asking him take over this club. I've done what I need to do. I'm ready for it. I think he'll take a break for a couple of years. Pep, I think he will. I don't think he'll be a manager for a bit. And I think he'll ask his ex teammate, his ex Barcelona teammate, come and manage Man City because he's done everything. He can't win anything more. He's won it all at Man City. So I think he will. I think he will just say, take over. Now, if he jumps before season finishes, I'm still not sure about that, but there's a possibility where he just thinks I want to give it to someone else now. Do you know what I mean? He might just walk. Excuse me. He will hand Pep his final title. He might even do it on purpose. I mean, Peppermint, you wouldn't put it past Arteta. You wouldn't. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. I know it sounds mad and crazy to think of, but this is what he does things like this. Like, why would he? I must have mentioned this, like I say, and I've only mentioned it a few minutes ago. Why would you go on live TV to a female reporter when we played PSG at second leg and literally stand there and look at her and say, PSG bench and Enrique told me, meaning Tolin Arteta, that Arsenal were the better team. Enrique didn't say anything like that, and the PSG bench definitely didn't mention it. So why would Arteta do that? Why would he lie? Do you know what I mean? Because after that, Enrique came out and he heard about it. He said the best team we played last season was Liverpool and Aston Villa, and it was. Do you know what I mean? Arsenal didn't offer PSG nothing. Didn't give him an headache. Second leg, we needed a goal desperately, and then PSG looked at it and thought, right, Ramos, I think he's in his might be his third or fourth season now since signing from Benfica, um, going to PSG. Who's not really always played because obviously he's had Messi and Mbappe to contend with. Um, he was on bench and they just looked at him and says, "Right, we'll bring you on." It looked like Enrique thought game's done. Arteta's not offering no different. There's no headache from Arteta. We ain't got to worry about this. And he goes and brings Ramos on, like as if to say game's won. So in that game we didn't offer nothing. Arteta didn't change no formation, and this is why I keep saying I will not have people tell me that Arteta's a top elite manager. He's won one FA Cup, people. He's had 6 years. He spent 1.3 billion. He never changes a formation where against Forest he could have come out in second half and thought Sean Dyche loves defending. He loved it when he were at Burnley as a manager. Let's go out there in second half and give him a smack on the nose and offer something different. Let's play two up front to start with. In second half, at first 20 minutes, Murillo, Milinkovic, Aliena, Aliena, sorry, they're all going to be thinking, fucking hell, Sangara, centre midfield. It's gonna cause disruption. It's going to drag them all over, thinking, hold on a minute, we're getting a bit ran here. We've got a lot more attack coming at us. There's an extra. It feels like they've got an extra man, and they've put two up front. Why didn't he do it, people? It cost us 3 points against Aston Villa. Sorry, against Liverpool, Emirates. Why didn't he change anything? Why didn't he get out there in that second half and think we're not doing anything in first half and we were diabolical in second half? Let me tell you. So even after second half, after 10 minutes of that in second half, why didn't he give Onslaught a different headache? Why didn't he make Onslaught think, fucking hell, we're getting, this, everything's all disrupted now. We were controlling ball. We were literally inviting Arsenal to come and get ball off us. Looked like we were at Anfield, to be honest, in that second half. Why didn't Arteta just think, right, I'm going to cause you a problem now. We're not giving you any headache whatsoever. There's nothing. It were easy. Why didn't you just put two up front, even for 20 minutes? Because I tell you something, and I said this: if Liverpool even had Ekitike against us at the Emirates, we lose that game. So we have scraped it. There's a lot of games this season where we've been very, very lucky and scraped a lot of results. And then there's games where we've turned up, Tottenham, Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan, Aston Villa, second half. We've been absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. But there's been more games where we've scraped it. So that's why I won't say Arteta's a top elite manager. No trophy since the FA Cup, 1.3 billion spent, and he just don't even change formation. And a top manager would. Eddie Howe would do it. It's Eddie Howe would change formation. Eddie Howe against Liverpool. And if you want to go on the big one, which I always use, perfect example, Chelsea had 10 men. A top team walk away from Stamford Bridge. I don't care what anyone says. A top team with a top manager would walk away with 3 points because they would have annihilated Chelsea in the second half. They would have played two up front for, let's say, 20 minutes. And obviously, Chelsea already been down to 10 men. It would have absolutely dragged them all over. They wouldn't have known where we were coming from. It'd have been left, it'd been right, it'd been straight through middle, there'd been balls over the top, they would have been leaving a man because we've got an extra man. We would have caused them so many problems that second half. And yet we walk away with another draw. We should now be at least 11 points clear, I think, at top of that table. 11 points clear. And some players have got a lot of mentality. It shows some of these players just haven't got the mentality, it seems, in games. But a lot of it is because Arteta will not change and give the opponent a different headache. And that's facts. That's not me making up. It's happened. It's already happened. It's not like where we think, oh, we think that it's already happened. It has actually happened. Um, so yeah, Ancelotti's presence in the dugout alone transforms this team, in my opinion. Yeah, Ancelotti. Well, yeah, but you're going to get people say, see some of these obsessed Arteta fans. What did Angelotti do at Everton? Rah rah rah. I mean, even man, some of them talk like the childs. They literally come on sometimes in my chat. Well, Man City just lost. Man City just drawn three in a row. So does that mean Arsenal, if they draw to Nottingham Forest, it's a Like it's like, oh, my shed's brighter than your shed. What you would say at school in a playground. You know what I mean? Fucking hell. But they do. Well, Ancelotti, what did he do at Everton? Ancelotti is one of the most decorated managers of all time with his trophies, what he's won. But midfield, it will be like Sir Alex's final. Yep. Peppermint Freedom, final title where people were shocked they won it. Yeah. Peppermint Freedom, difference in class, absolutely. Peppermint Freedom, Enrique could become the GOAT if he wins the treble in England. Oh, 100%, man. 100%. 100%. See, Rich thoughts on Lee Gunner. Lee Gunner, he knows his stuff. See, he does know his stuff. He's been around Arsenal for a long time, been to so many games, home and away, travelled all over the world. Lee Gunner, fantastic. DJB, Jez's Arsenal, Aaron Tuck's Arsenal, Shane Gooner, Dan Potts, Kenny Ken. There's so many. There's so many. I don't like normally mention them because I always forget some names. Views on Sport, Waffled On, BBK. There's loads, man. There's loads. There's loads. True Gooner. There's loads of channels. What share like our passion and our ambition. There's a lot. There really is. Um, but I don't like normally mentioning names because I hate it if I forget some. Where are we? Put me through them. If we are showing nerves and poor mentality now, what are we going to be like in the running? Absolutely. Absolutely. So, on that one, people, I am going to end this stream. Thank you very much for everyone joining. And hope the rest of your day goes good. Afternoon, morning, wherever you are. And yeah, big game Sunday. Will the players' mentality let us down? Will Arteta not change anything if we're struggling? I don't know. But two of those things I've just mentioned kind of happens a lot this season, and it's crazy to think that we are actually top of the league, and we will be 4 points clear by Sunday when we play Man United, because Man City will definitely take care of Wolves on Saturday afternoon. And I am not writing Aston Villa off, but Aston Villa do play Newcastle, I think, at St James's Park. If Aston Villa lose to Newcastle, then they are gone. But what a season and what a team Unai Emery has built. Now he's got Kamara out for the season. That's a big injury. Are they going to get Mateta or Tammy Abraham? That's the links. Daniel Marlin's gone to Roma, scored already for Roma on loan. So thank you very much, everybody. Bless up and stay safe.